Welcome to Tweet of the Week. I am delighted to be joined today by Jackie Grimm, who is the music teacher at Middletown Primary School. And if you want to meet a lady who is full of energy, you are in luck. Jackie, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for tweeting about what's going on in your classroom. You want to talk a little bit about the tweet and what inspired it?
Sure. I feel really fortunate to be able to be going into the school building. I think that work-life balance is so important right now. And I've been evolving my teaching space over the past couple of months. So I now am at a standing teaching space. It kind of looks like a stage, which is appropriate for music classes. And I am able to stand up while I'm teaching. I have my laptop up high and a camera and a little microphone. I've got my books ready. I have my instruments where I need them. So it's really helped me to feel like I'm actually teaching my kids music. Reminds me a little bit of being in person.
So you talked a little bit about evolving your teaching. And if we think about it, we've been doing virtual learning now for 3 months, coming up on our 4th. And I think everybody's learning and growing. And so that idea of evolving, I think, is really important. And you talked earlier about working it, trying different things, and finding that place where you felt like your authentic self teaching again. You want to sort of describe how you got there?
Sure. I think when we started in August, it felt like survival mode and whatever we could do to set up, get teaching, and figure out how this worked. And then after a couple months, I was teaching sitting down, which did not feel authentic to how I teach. I normally am up dancing with my kids for 40 minutes, moving around the room. And I noticed it was starting to affect my mental health a little bit because I would sit at my desk and then I would sit at my teaching space and talk to the kids. And if I was asking them to get up and move, it all became very awkward. So I realized it wasn't working for me. So I took a filing cabinet that I have, a little box, and I stacked it on top of my tech cart and I put my laptop on it and I started teaching standing up. And I realized that I was feeling really good. My lessons would end and I suddenly felt like I was being a lot more effective. I was dancing with my kids. If I was expecting them to move to the beat, I was moving with them as well, not just from a seated position. And I started to feel a lot happier, honestly. So then I took my teaching space, I moved it a little bit, I moved my bookshelf, I got my instruments set where I needed them to be, and I really tried to set it up as I do my classroom at the start of a normal year. But really had to realize this is our new normal for a while. And I think it's going to be the new normal for a lot longer than any of us had hoped it to be. But I figured I might as well be comfortable. And I feel like now standing up, teaching, dancing with my kids, it feels way more authentic to how I teach. I think that I'm being a much more effective teacher for my kids now. And really, I think it's important that teachers remember doing something for your own self-care or mental health is very, very important, and that then the benefits for your kids will also follow that. We always put kids first, but sometimes in this scenario, we really need to also put ourselves first, and then the benefits from that will also follow.
So what incredible advice to share with colleagues, because it comes from your journey. And I think a lot of our students are kind of going through the same thing. How do I structure my day? How do I figure this out? How do I navigate this virtual environment? And again, I loved your term, the authentic self, because it's going to evolve differently for each of us. And we've got to let it evolve. And we've got to be patient with ourselves and our students as it is evolving. So even though it's been 3 months, and sometimes it feels like it's been way longer than that, we're still kind of wrapping our heads and hands around this. And I'm so glad that you've experimented and tried different things. Because yes, music is about movement and excitement. And I've attended some virtual music classes and have had an absolute ball. But in all of them, there was get up, move, have fun. And so you're giving yourself that opportunity to have fun again, which is so critically important. So I want to thank you so much for all that you do to support our students. Being at the primary school, you're trying to keep 5-year-olds happily engaged with you, and that is no easy feat. But again, I know your talent. I've seen you teach in a classroom.
Mhm.
And I have no doubt that your virtual classroom is equally exciting and energizing for the kids. So thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for taking the time to tweet about it, because I think that's important too. Parents are getting a glimpse into the classroom now, and you talked about some parents are showing up to participate in this as well.
Mhm.
But the importance of tweeting and letting people see that, yes, it's not being in the classroom, it's being in the virtual classroom, and we can be just as powerful there.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Thank you for having me.
Please continue to follow our administrators and our teachers on Twitter, because there are amazing things going on in these virtual classrooms around the county and coming into your homes. So thank you for joining us on Tweet of the Week. We hope to see you next time.